covered. All right? All right, let's talk about proper portions for a minute here. Okay, so you got to eat the right foods. That's the first thing. You also got to eat proper portions. All right? Most people, take a shovel to take their food, right? And a lot of people, you go to work all day or whatever you do, and you get hungry, whatever, you come home and you're like, oh man, I haven't eaten, I skipped lunch or whatever, and boom, you just dump a pile of stuff on your plate. And you know what the truth is? The truth is, when it comes to fat loss and when it comes to storing fat, is that your body only consumes what it needs. So your body's smart. It's a work of art by your creator. It's very smart. When you dump too much in, it says, I don't need all that. So let me just take what I need and let me store the rest as fat. That's the problem. So you want to eat, proper portions, and that's the key. And I'm going to show you a trick on how to do that in a second. But what is a calorie? Don't get all confused by this calorie stuff. I remember everyone's like, how many calories are in it? Who cares? I'll show you why in a minute. A calorie is just a measure of heat exchange, is what it is actually. You don't need to know what it is really. So I'm just telling you for the heck of it. But I want you to understand one thing with calories. A protein and a carb have 4 calories per gram. But fat, on the other hand, has 9 calories per gram. Now, if you're only supposed to take about 10 to 20% of your diet from fat, and a fat gram has 9 calories, and then you eat a lot of fat, do you know how many calories that adds up to? So fat adds up very quickly. That's why people have trouble with weight when they eat a lot of fat. It's because they're eating way more than 10 to 20% of their consumption from fat. So that's the deal with that. The easiest method was from one of my earlier mentors, Bill Phillips. Does anybody know what Body for Life or Eating for Life is? Anybody ever heard of that? Okay, a couple people. Bill Phillips is a great guy. He tries to make life easy, and I'm going to recommend that you use his closed fist method of measuring your portions. So it's real simple. How do I know how much I should take? Everyone go like this. Okay. Now what's interesting, keep your hand up for a minute. I want to show you something. What's interesting is if you look around and you hold them up, come on. Power, man. Everybody, look around. All those fists are different sizes, right? And they're proportioned to you. So that's so cool because all you got to do is take a portion of carbs that are about that size and take a portion of protein that are about that size, and you eat it with every meal. It's that simple. Right? Cake. And then when your stomach goes, I want seconds. Discipline. You'll get used to it. Trust me. Eat slowly. All right. Key number 3 to correctly eating. We talked about eating good food, and we talked about eating good portions. Now I want to talk to you about balance. Okay? Most people, like I said, eat too many carbs. The average American diet is, way over in carbs, like 20 to 50% from fat, and that's mostly bad fat. And then most Americans don't eat enough protein, and most Americans eat too much carbs from poor quality carbs. So it's no wonder that we have an obesity epidemic in America, also a diabetes epidemic in black people and Spanish people, which we're going to combat in a second here too. But this is the deal. We talked about 10 to 20% should come from the fats, 30 to 45 about from proteins, and 40 to 60 from carbs that are low glycemic and high quality. All right? And the easiest way, again, is with using the FIST method and understanding that as long as you're controlling your portions, then you're pretty much on track with those percentages. Now, what do you do with the fats? You can add, just pay attention to how much fat you're getting. If you're eating something that has some fat in it, pay a little bit of attention. And if you're eating like potato chips, you're instant anyway, so that was not on the list. So you shouldn't have a problem if you do it right. So what's the ideal balance? Protein and carbs in every meal. Every meal, because something magic happens when you eat balanced. Your body, like I said, is as smart on the inside that it knows what it needs, and it needs both. So when you just give it carbs, it goes, where's the protein, right? And if you're just giving it carbs, you're eating too many carbs anyway. So what happens is when you balance your food and you eat it in every meal, you're in real good shape, okay? You're going to really combat not only losing weight, but muscle gaining, as we're going to talk about when we get into the working out and stuff in a second here. So eat both in every meal. Eat about 2 servings of vegetables at least a day with those meals. Try to, okay? Consume some sort of essential fatty acids, whether that be through a supplement or through some type of food that you're eating like salmons, okay? And drink water with every meal. I know, I was working with somebody, he said drink a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi every day, right? That's all that he drank was soda. And I was like, well, I don't have to do much with you from the start. Just stop drinking soda and switch to water, and you'll probably lose 10 to 20 pounds right off the bat. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. So he did it, and he did. And then I had him working out and stuff, and he lost a lot more. But the key is, if you're drinking juice, no. Water. You don't need anything more than water. You can treat yourself to juice and stuff sometimes. You want to have a glass of orange juice in the morning or something, you like that? That's cool. But for the most part, no. Everything else is filled with sugar. Despite what the label says on the stupid juice bottle, all natural, it's most of it is all garbage. It's all sugar. Okay? Just try to drink water. Watch what happens if you're trying to lose weight. All right? All right. Key number 4. This is the last key of healthy eating. Eat 5 to 6 times a day. All right, that's the key. You want to eat 5 to 6 times a day, not 3. Forget what your mom taught you or your dad. You want to eat 5 to 6 times a day. And I know you're all looking at me. I'm going to make this make sense in 1 minute. Just understand what I'm talking about first, because you're thinking, how am I going to do all this? Don't worry, it's not that difficult. I got your back, like I said. Okay. It trains your body to use food and not store it as fat. When you do that, your body, when you only eat a few times a day, your body goes into what's called a mild starvation period. And what happens is it gets used to not having food. It's a real mild starvation, but it sends enough of a message to your body that says, next time I get food, since food is scarce, I'm storing this. It's sort of like a bear who goes into hibernation, just in a very mild state. So that's the key. When you eat more frequently, your body needs it about every 3 hours. So if you wake up and you eat nice balanced meals every 3 hours, you're in good shape. Your body's like, thank you for giving me what I really want. And that's the key. That's the key to creating the body that you want and to living healthy. Okay? And it also makes portion control much easier, because if you're eating a lot, then you're not starving. And that's what I mean by, I told you, I now eat more than I did before when I was overweight. And for those of us who like food, that's a good thing. Go ahead.
You eat the same portion size 6 times a day.
I'm going to show. I don't eat 6 times a day with food. I'm going to explain that. I don't use food 6 times a day. See, just because I said eating doesn't mean I mean food. So we're going to talk about that in a sec. Okay. Tips to eating. Add the flavor, not the fat. All right, when you're cooking and stuff, get creative. I take vegetables from the dinner before. I throw it into an egg omelet, egg white omelet the next morning. Get a little creative and have fun. And once you do this, I'm going to recommend a book called Eating for Life for Bill Phillips. There's great recipes in there, Eating for Life. I highly recommend that because there's good recipes. A lot of them are quick. There's even desserts in there. You got breakfast, lunch, dinners, and desserts. And they're all healthy, and they all follow the exact same things that we're teaching. Bill Phillips. Okay, plan ahead. Don't wing it. If you wing it, you're going to go to McDonald's, right? Let's just be real. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to crack. So plan ahead. Manipulate what you already like. Like if you like, pizza or something like that, then DiGiorno makes a great whole grain pizza. I like barbecue chicken on my pizza and stuff, so I whip up some chicken with some barbecue. I take their pizza, I throw it on there quick. I got me a barbecue chicken slice of pizza, and I actually like it. It's good. So find things that you already like and find ways to make them healthy. Okay? Avoid emo binging. Who knows what emo is? This is more of a new term. I have nieces and nephews who are like, yeah, she's so emo. I'm like, what? Like emotional. All right, so avoid emotional binging. They say that your stomach is like, the pit of your emotions, and that you can either be really happy, really sad, really, whatever, but a lot of people will react differently to that and a lot of people will start to binge on food and start eating a lot. Some people don't eat and they like starve themselves. So it just depends on how you are. But just understand that, to be aware of that. Some people don't know why. I don't know why I'm so hungry. Because you're going through something. You're stressed about something. There's something going on, and that's, making you want to eat. Okay? And make them quick and simple. Quick, simple meals. Okay? There's nothing like, trying to, whip up like a 3-course meal and stuff. I mean, if you want to do that for dinner and stuff, that's cool. But make this stuff easy for you so that you do it. Because if it's hard, you're going to go, forget it. Let me just go to McDonald's or something,